My favorite part was that every student at Seneca had the chance to win the $1,000. We put it out there to all the students, and the kids that really wanted to participate, really were in there and earned all the points that they needed to get them into the pep rally. And I think it also caused kids to participate in Seneca activities that, they might not normally have participated in.
I think the biggest challenge in the pep rally was probably the hippity hops. We could not have anticipated the craziness that emerged when all of those competitors got on those hippity hops and had to get across the gym and get the fly paper. So that, I think, was probably very challenging physically for them.
My role in the pep rally was I was one of the members of the One Book, One School committee, and we came up with, we chose a book that would be used for our One Book, One School selection, and based on that book, we masterminded some activities that would go along with what it was that we wanted our students to get from the book.
Yes, mostly everything went as planned. The thing I think that stopped us up a little bit was when we had to measure the boxes. We had a plan to use tape measures, and the tape measures were a little bit harder to use than we thought they were going to use. But we made it work, and we figured out who had the tallest boxes.
I think it's probably trying to get our kids on board. We have, 1,200 students here at Seneca, and we want them to get involved in what we're going to offer them with our One Book, One School program. So that means that we hope that, number one, everybody reads the book and has some, common theme and some common language that we can all talk about. And then we want them to be engaged in the activities that we offer them. So we want them to, try to go along with the themes that we promote from the book and use those to just be active and participate in their school.
Probably the most dominant theme was the 80s theme, and we tried to play with that a lot with some of the competitions with, the hippity hops, the Rubik's Cube, and also the Hungry Hippo game that we did.
I'm Maggie Mitchell. Today we're taking you backstage at the DECA Fashion Show. Stay tuned for a more in-depth look at the fashion show. We talked to Miss McCluskey about what it takes to run a fashion show. This is what she had to say. The fashion show started off with all the girls getting their hair done at Metamorphosis. Then they prepared by doing their makeup so they would stand out on stage. Seneca's drumline opened the show and got the crowd amped. Then the show was off in full swing. Couples walked the stage modeling dresses and suits available for prom. The suits were from Men's Warehouse and Formal Expressions, and the dresses were from David's Bridal. Next, we talked to one of the models in the fashion show.
I think the fashion show went great. Yes, I was very nervous, but I've done it a couple times before, so I got over it as soon as I got on stage. It was very hectic backstage. Everyone was yelling at us and telling the models to get on the side of the wall, and yeah, everyone was running around. My favorite part of the fashion show was probably being on stage.
Once again, I'm Maggie Mitchell, and you just watched the Golden Eagle Outlook. Thanks for watching.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Golden Eagle Outlook. Myself, Kayla Doria, as well as my friend Eliza Sweet and I have produced a segment featuring Seneca's annual Liftathon. Liftathon is a chance for all the football players as well as any other boy who participated in winter weight room to see how much weight they really can lift while competing against their friends to lift the most. All the football coaches were here supporting the boys and really figuring out what their max was. The head football coach, Coach Fisher, was also here, supporting the guys and making sure they were lifting the most that they really could. How did Liftathon start?
Our first year here in 2003, we wanted to do something special for the kids that were lifting in the wintertime. And I remember asking around. I don't think the internet was around then or whatever, but I remember asking around and somebody said, why don't you do a Liftathon? And since then, we've done it every year.
What makes Liftathon unique?
I think it's, nowadays when you see the NFL Combine and stuff like that, I think kids want to measure themselves and see where they kind of fit in. And I think that, when the kids see like the older guys doing that, I think it kind of makes it exciting for them to be able to say, I did a bench press, I did a squat, and it's mostly football players, so it kind of makes it fun. But really, to see the girls lifting this year and everything else, it's kind of spread out throughout the school. So I think that's what kind of makes it unique.
Has Seneca's Liftathon changed over the years?
Other than me giving it to Dooley this year. Now it's kind of been the same. We never did the running part, so this is the first year. This is actually the second year we've done that. But for the most part, it's always been the same.
What is the best part of Liftathon?
I think it's, for me, I like watching deadlifts. I like seeing the kids put up 400 or 500 pounds. That's my favorite event. So, we try to put it out in front here where most people can see it because I kind of like that event. So, but that's my favorite by far.
The winter weight room is run by Coach Dooley every winter. Coach Dooley offers an option for girls and guys. The girls that participated in winter weight room had the opportunity to come out to Liftathon and help out and keep the scores recorded for the boys. How did Liftathon start?
Well, Liftathon started well before I got here. Coach Fish was doing it for years. It's really something that a lot of football teams and weightlifting programs do just to raise some money.
What is the best part of Liftathon?
I think seeing the kids get all jacked up, seeing them go nuts when they do more weight than they ever thought they were going to, and seeing all the work pay off.
What are the attitudes from the guys about Liftathon?
They love it. Yeah, they're always jacked up every year, a little too much sometimes, but it's always really positive.
Why is Liftathon this season?
It's this season because we have the largest amount of kids lifting in the winter. We usually have anywhere from 40 to 60 kids, so you get the most out of it. And it's when you're talking about fall sports and things like that, the winter season is really when you're putting on a lot of mass and really going up in weight. So it just seems natural to do it when you're doing that.
What makes Liftathon unique?
Well, I think ours is a little unique. I know, like, Shawnee just had theirs last week, and they did a conventional bench-a-thon, and just, everybody wears Shawnee T-shirts and bench. The fact that we did the whole superhero thing this year, that we do more of a combine-type thing with multiple events, I think ours is unique in that way. I've been a part of 3 different schools that have done this, and this is definitely the most unique way of doing it.
How do the sponsors work?
The kids, they can get 2 ways. They can get a flat donation, but what we'd rather them get is sponsored by pound. So if they get 1 cent per pound and they lift 1,000 pounds, and they get $100 from that person. So that's how we'd like to see them go about it. But a lot of them do wind up getting just a flat donation for multiple people.
Where do the donations go?
All the money gets dumped right back into the kids and right back into the weight room. So everything that we put into tonight will come out of that money, and any new equipment we get for the weight room or replacement equipment will come from this money.
There are winners of each category during Liftathon, and there is one overall winner. For this year, it was Garrett Blessy. What is unique about Liftathon?
What's unique about Liftathon is it's really a group of guys coming together and participating in something, and we're screaming and we're yelling and we're just getting loud for each other. And when someone gets a weight, we all just jump and cheer, and it's awesome.
Why do you participate in Liftathon each year?
I participate to see all the guys get better at what they do and to prepare for the next football season like half the weight room does.
How many years have you participated in Liftathon?
This would only be my 2nd year participating.
What is the greatest part of Liftathon?
The greatest part is working together with the guys in the room and achieving what we didn't think was possible.
Why should other people participate in Liftathon?
It gives you a strong bond with your friends that also participate. You really come together as one team and one family, and you achieve everything you can.
How does it feel to have lifted the most weight?
I'm proud of myself, but I'm more proud of the guys that lifted just behind me, and I can't wait to see what they do next year.
That's all we have on the Liftathon. Now back to Tim Durkis.
We're here with Mr. Yates, director of the play. Oh, so can we get a brief description of what the musical's about?
Sure. The Mystery of Edwin Drood is a murder mystery that Charles Dickens was writing, and then he died while he was writing it. So we don't know who the murderer is, who the detective is, who did anything. And so the show kind of happens, you meet all these weird characters, and then when we get to that point in the musical where he died and stopped writing, the audience gets to decide who the murderer is and how the show ends, basically.
What made you want to pick this for your musical?
We really liked that the script had a lot of lead characters and that there were a lot of opportunities for a large ensemble. So as opposed to last year's show where we had like 4 main characters, this show has about a dozen main characters. So it allows more opportunities for students to learn and grow and become better actors.
It's been great having you. Pleasure talking to you.
Pleasure talking to you.
I'm here with Rob Madowski. Welcome. So, Rob, what's it like being a student director?
It's fun. I mean, you get to like be a part of the whole theater experience without all the pressure of having to do everything right on stage in front of an audience.
Do you ever have any trouble getting the students to listen to you because you're like a fellow student with them?
Usually not. I mean, they're good people. If I have to yell at people, I have 2 other student directors to do it for me.
Thanks for coming on, Rob. It's been great having you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Mark Saracen. I'm here with Josh Geiser, Lisa Dazinski, Dylan Paulson, Brady Moore, actor in the play. So, how did you get into acting?
Well, I started doing it in 5th grade in middle school, and I just kind of haven't stopped since.
Basically, freshman year, I signed up for The Wiz, which was the first musical that I was in here. That was a great show.
Well, when I was really little, I always liked to sing along to shows on TV and just music on the radio. And then when I was about 6, I just told my mom that I just wanted to get into acting. And so she found a high school show that needed some kids. So I was in that, and that was my first show. It was great.
How long have you really wanted to be an actor?
I'd say for about 10 years or so, because I've been doing it since I was around 6. So, yeah.
Well, ever since a really early age, I love to watch movies, and I always wanted to be a director, but in my head as a kid, they only got the credit on the beginning of the movie, so I wanted to be in front of the camera and read scripts, and yeah.
How do you deal with performing in front of like large crowds?
I just kind of think of it as being a practice. Again, I don't really think of it as being a show.
I just relax and try to give it my best. They're just here to see a great show, so I just try to give it my all.
So do you get any nerves for a show like this?
Yeah, definitely, I do. I don't know, I kind of just go for it.
So, opening night is definitely the most nerve-wracking part because the audience is all new and it's all really exciting, but memorizing your lines, memorizing the songs and dances, it's all everything is really nerve-wracking, yeah.
What are some of the nerves you have for a show?
I think the biggest problem for me with shows is just worrying about skipping lines and saying lines wrong, because I think the scariest thing for any actors on stage is when somebody says a line incorrectly and then other people have to recover because of it, and it's just a terrifying experience when you're in front of a live audience.
My biggest nerve is probably just forgetting a line or mixing something up, but then I just gotta wing it, and that's what makes it fun.
Thank you, Josh. It was great having you.
Thanks.
Brady, it's been great having you.
Thanks for having me.
Dylan, it's been great talking to you. Good luck with the show, man.
All right, thanks so much.
Thank you for coming on. It's been great having you.
It's been a lot of fun.
Here with Emma Moore, a dancer in the play. So, how often do you practice?
Practice a couple times a week together, and then it's always good to go home and refresh the dances yourselves. Our choreographer posts them on Twitter, and we can see the dances and work with the video. It's really helpful.
Do you have any other background that helps you perform with this or dance better?
Actually, I'd been dancing from the time I was 3 years old to freshman year at a dance academy, so I have a fair bit of experience dancing.
How difficult would you say it is to get everyone choreographing together, or get everyone just get everything down at the same time?
Well, it's interesting to see everyone learn the parts separately and put it all together, but it's hard at first, but it's really cool when it all comes together.
Emma, been great talking to you. Hope you have a good luck.
Wish you best in
Thank
the play.
you. Thank you very much.